stand at attention, please, for the national anthem.
Good evening, folks, and welcome inside the Cavendish Farms Community Event Center as we get set for some U16 action here live on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Brothers. Thanks for tuning in here this evening, folks, as we are underway. At center ice, chipped in there on the far side by LeBlanc as he'll give chase. This game against the Rebels and the Kings. Saunders getting the start. Down in net for the Kings, 200 feet for him. 200 feet down from Joey Saunders is number 29, Dylan Wild gets the start here tonight against the Kings. The Rebels coming into the game, they're currently sitting in 5th place. They have a 7-4-2 record. It's the Kings currently sitting in 8th place. 4-2-3 record. The Rebels have 16 points on the year, as the Kings have 11. They have a few less games played, as 9 games for the Kings and 13 for the Rebels into this game. That puck at center ice battled for, taking a hit there is Pino. He'll dump the puck in and they'll give chase. Weston will go back. Gaudette pressuring him, gives him a bump on the far side. Here for Ben Fraser on the wall as a couple men collide. That's Lemoyne and Otway. As that puck chipped in the neutral zone, here's a chance back the other way. Fraser 2-on-1 has Lemoyne. Fraser distance shot into the chest protector of Weil, and he'll hold on for the whistle. We'll get a first stoppage of play here inside the Cavendish Farms Community Event Center. Thanks for tuning in here live on High Button Sports. One of many games on the island this weekend, the U18 Female Showcase going on just 30 minutes away in Summerside in the Credit Union place, home of the Summerside Capitals. As that's chipped up the wall off the glove of the defenseman on the far side. So that goes off the hand of Makar. Sidoruk, and stoppage of play. Faceoff's going to go back inside the zone. Offensive zone draw for the Kings once again. 18-10 remaining in the opening period here. Just under 2 minutes into the game. Puck worked up the wall, trying to work it out. Sidoruk takes a hit from Allison on the far side. Allison coming into this game, the leading point getter for the Rebels. He's got 18 points, 10 goals, 8 assists. Finishing his check there is Chisholm on McGilvery as Sidoruk, D-to-D, controlled there. That's Romaine. Hits the man in the neutral zone, Lively, dumps it in, peels off for a change. That puck forecheck there by Slavtuta as that puck worked in. Now off the end wall, got to be careful as Saunders was out to play it. Lively end boards here in the Cavendish Farms Community Event Center in Tyne Valley, PEI. Battle on the wall between Thompson. It looks like he'll battle there with McEwen as that gets sent back into the Rebel zone. McGilvery backhands it over to the far side, D to D. Puck on the wall, now it's picked up and with some speed, 3-on-2, loses the handle in the neutral zone and it's turned over. Here's a chance, Jackman works it in over the line. Jackman tries to center off the shin pad and into the corner. Pigeon trying to chip it up. The good pressure though, continuing from the forwards of the Kings as it's just going to be lofted up in the air into the neutral zone. Lands nicely, he's trying to break through. Getting an opportunity the other way was Arsenault. Sent in, Corkum. Armero can't collect. LeBlanc tries chipping it out. He'll just control it back into his own zone. Takes a hit on the far wall, loses control, chipped back to the point, held in. Worked back down, picked off on the dump-in attempt. LeBlanc trying to work it out. Good defensive play there. To get back was Ty Collins. My apologies, that's Ben Harris on the nice defensive play. Oh, it was Ty Collins. As that puck worked out, trying to center it, the Rebels looking to establish a forecheck now, as the Kings did a good job of that in the opening shift. Otway works it, delayed call coming up, shot on. Saunders fights it off, puck in behind, hasn't been touched yet. Cleanly by the Kings, centering pass, Otway causing havoc in front of the net. Back down low, out of the reach, and that'll be touched up now by Armorall, and that'll stop play. Armorall takes a bump right at the whistle. 15:35, and we'll get to see the first power play. A cross-checking call coming up. Looks like it's going to go against Landon Culp. Is the culprit. Oh no, he ends up going to the box. Oh no. We'll wait and see who goes. Landon Culp is the culprit. He didn't know he got the call, so he went to the bench. But officials instructing him into the box, and a Rebels power play upcoming. 2 minutes on the board. Allison down low. As mentioned, Allison coming into the game. He's got 18 points, 10 goals on the year. Samuel Surratt comes in. He's got 18 points. He's got 11 goals on the season. Puck worked up, Gaudette over the line. He'll stop up and sent down the full length of the ice. Good job by Weston, killing off some time. Wild out to stop it. Leave it for Harris. Harris sets up the breakout. Allison will swing down low. He'll leave it over to this side as it's worked up. Here's Gaudette touching center and dumping at a hard rim to the far side. McEwen back to the point. Worked up top. Harris over to the short side. Gaudette looking back door. Finds a man, shot there, sent wide off the glass, and it rattles around to the point. Gaudette moves around one. He finds the man, far side. Here's a shot high and wide. Up over the net and held in at the line by Gaudette. Jackman, his counter-numerical partner, wearing the C for the Kings, sends it down. And Wild stops it up there. Harris is going to wheel it this time with some speed. Harris mishandles the puck. Centering pass goes off a stick. Back to the far side. Sent back inside the Rebel zone by Sidoruk. Puck work back. Pino up the wall, centering pass, trying to find Gaudette. He ups his man up and over the leg and sends down. Good job there by Sidoruk. Wild out to play it, couldn't get a hold of it, and it stopped up. Pigeon will cut back. He'll leave it here. Pino couldn't reach it. Good job there by Otway to chip it in with one hand on his stick. He's coming across the blue line. Otway got it down in deep. Now he works it back to the point. Work to the point, shot there. It's blocked by Romaine over to the far side. Callahan stops up and sets up. Sauce pass, hits the shaft of the stick. And a big hit there in the corner. Finishing his check is Gaudette. 2 seconds left on the power play, and that'll do it here for the first man advantage. Pigeon gathers the puck in his own zone, makes a move around one. He'll wheel it up through the neutral zone down the far side. Touches the blue line, takes a hit from Romaine on the dump in. Reverse play, Sidoruk, far side Romaine. Centering pass and end up going into the glove of Saunders, and he holds on for a whistle. Lots of action here in the first 7 or so minutes in this Saturday night matchup here live on High Button Sports. Thanks for tuning in as the Kings and the Rebels face off here in PEI. Decent little crowd here in Tyne Valley on this Saturday night. Lively leaves it for Chisholm. Chisholm takes a bump, spins off at Armoro, gathers the puck and works it up the wall. He'll stop up and wait for his team to get him some options, chipping it up the glass. Neufeld can't keep control of it. It goes all the way back down. Armorall's going to go gather it in behind his net. He'll take a bump from Hudson. He'll chip it into the corner. Arsenault in there trying to create havoc. Chisholm worked it up the wall, not out though. As you see in the lineup now for the Rebels is number 22, Caleb Griffin. The call up here for the Rebels tonight. So he got the ever so friendly rookie lap here pregame during warm-up, and I'm not seeing Samuel Surrett out on the ice yet, so maybe he out of this game, maybe an injury or a suspension or something along those lines. But the face-off is won back by the Rebels, so they'll be missing their top point getter. Here's the other top point getter, both tied with 18 points on the year. That's Allison, shot tipped high by Smallman near the high slot area. Smallman's going to get in on the battle now on the far side. Trying to work it up the wall, can't get it out past the man there was Carson Lively. Down low, spinning away for some pressure is McEwen. Heads up, cutting up in between the forecheck there. He's peeling off for a change now was Lively as he dumps it in. McGilvery will collect in behind his own goal line and look for an option. Centering pass gets touched and sent in high off the glass and behind as Smallman forechecks, finishing his hit in behind the net. Worked up the far side wall as Thompson collects on a nice touch pass through the middle. Thompson over the blue line. Centering pass, Jackman cuts to the middle. Jackman forehand shot sent high as he absorbed a hit from Allison as he did so. Right in on a while and held on for a whistle, and that'll stop play. 11:39 remaining here in the opening period. What an opening start we've had. And we're not halfway through the opening period, and chances going both ways. Some big hits for both teams. Physicality definitely going to be a factor here, and the work ethic all the way through the full 60 minutes is going to be key here. Neither team going to back down from the fight here on this Saturday night. Shot wide off the body and picked up. Harris as that wheeled up. Gaudette finds his brother Gaudette as these two play here together. That's Zach Gaudette, and his brother is number 91, Isaac Gaudette, as they play on a line here together. Zach Gaudette patrolled the red line in warm-up, so we'll wait to see if that carries over into the game as Jackman centering pass too far from Thompson, and over to the far side, chipped up to Pino, and he'll take his time with it out. Knocked off his stick though and sent right back in by Savuta, my apologies. There's no extra L in there. Savuta works it back. Pino trying to finish his check on Culp, who's out of the box after taking the first penalty of the game. Nice move here. Harris over the red line trying to get it in. Ben Harris dives at it, can't keep it going. There's a nice couple moves there by Makar. Sideruk as it's worked up here just in front of us. Pino with a couple moves. He'll take his time, chip it before center, not enough to go down. Romain collects in his own zone. Romain, far stretch pass for Grant Chelly, can't collect it as it's worked back. Here's Gaudette. That's Isaac Gaudette this time for the Rebels. Gaudette was sent it in by himself. It's Zach Gaudette centering pass off the skate and behind the intended target. Oh, there's Sam Surrett, the leading point getter for the Rebels, so he's in the lineup. Good to see him out on the ice. He's got 18 points, 11 goals on the year. That makes for 7 assists as he'll chip it up. Back into the Kings zone, played back. Here's Sideruk, gets the puck, chip past him right onto the stick of Otway. Dumping it in on towards the goal, but collected by Corkum. Grant Chelly collides with Otway. Turned over off the skate of Grant Chelly. He makes up for it and collects it. Works it over to the far side, trying to kick it up to his stick, but too far and sent back. Here's a little bit of ping pong in the neutral zone between the Kings and the Rebels as it gets sent down, chipping it up off the boards and back in the neutral zone. Phillips will have to retrieve it in his own zone. Phillips Backhands it D to D over to the far side. Centering pass is picked off. And that's only momentarily. It's worked up. Surratt moves it. Otway trying to work it in. Can't get it in deep. Otway finishing his check here and behind the play as that puck chipped up by Ben Fraser, who absorbed the hit. Trying to finish his check there was Cole. He goes into the boards rather awkwardly. Noy chipping it up the wall. Surratt centers. Ben Fraser picks it off at the blue line. Here's a chance. Cole centers. Trying to find Lemoyne, and it goes into the far side corner. Otway to it first. Trying to work it out was Ben Fraser on the far side to the point and out into the neutral zone. Armorall will collect it now. On a D-to-D feed, he'll work it up. Back over the blue line. Armorall one-on-one gets around the man. Armorall shot off the post. Rebound off the post, shot by Fraser high. Rattles around the glass to the far side and net off its bearing, saying the official. And that'll stop play here. So the Kings with their share of chances now here, over halfway through the second period, the first period of play. Good action both ways and a really good crowd here on hand. Pretty well full here inside the Cavendish Event Center in Tyne Valley, PEI. As we are live on High Button Sports as a shot's blocked. Weston will collect the blocked shot over on the close side point. Send it back in deep where Lively gets to it first. Noy bumps him, gets the puck from him, chips it off the glass. Giving a hit there was Caleb Griffin. The call up for the Rebels here this evening. McGilvery chipping it into center. Finds Griffin, who absorbs a hit from Glover and gives him another one. Lively picks up the puck though, gets it in. Sent out just to the blue line, can't get it out. Now it's out. Here's a chance, Arsenault. He'll break away. Arsenault down on his forehand across, gets the shot off, blocked by Weston, and sent back down. Arsenault takes a bump. Here's a centering pass, goes through the skates of the Rebels' intended target. Net front and sent back. Nice move there as it's worked right back. Here's Collins across the blue line. He'll dump it in and give chase. Collins, a defenseman, being F1, finishing his check in the far side corner. Absorbing the check was Cade Romaine. Held at the line by Arsenault. He heads off for a change, and a new set of legs will hop over the boards as Pigeon gathers it in the neutral zone. Works it here for Collins. He'll dump it in. High flip, Romaine will get to it. Nice little reverse play, and he takes a big hit in behind on the reverse play. Might have been watching his pass in behind him, and making no mistake was Smallman. Back to the point, and Pigeon outside, and Smallman touches up the puck, and that'll draw a little crowd here. He did hold up on the shot, was Tobin McEwen, and that'll stop play on an offside. What a hit delivered there by number 44, Caleb Smallman, absolutely crushing Cade Romaine in behind the net on a reverse play. Romaine might have been looking back behind him, and Smallman finished him off in behind the net. An offside call though, as it worked just outside the line, and Smallman didn't hear the official as it's worked up. Savuta chips it in. Jackman's going to give chase down in the far side corner. Back for Savuta, trying to cut to the net. Shot blocked by Collins. Sidruka shot there, and it gets blocked. As no extracurricular. Smallman has a word for Sidruka. As the puck went all the way down to the end of Joe Saunders, and he plays it up for the linesman as they'll try to get the net to stay on its bearings. Wild net coming off. That's the second time here in the period. 6:33 remaining on the clock. Face off, one back. Sidoruk takes a step to the middle. Shot tipped by Jackman. Shot there from distance. Rebound kicked out by Wild and played around. Smallman on the far side. He takes a bump by Romaine, trying to get him back, but a 2-on-1. Here's a chance. Allison backdoor feed, doesn't connect. As he had a man driving the back door was Tobin McEwen. As McEwen down low, trying to make a move around the captain. Jackman can't do so. Here's Pino, high slot. He'll work it to the middle and over to the far side. He'll take a shot off the skate of Romaine in down low. Collected by Tobin. McEwen to the high slot. He'll walk it right in. Shot high off the glass. In behind the net, Jackman sidesteps a hit. That clear goes up into the neutral zone. Up all the way back into his own zone. Cleared right back here. And the Rebels look to get right back in on the forecheck. But Sidoruk had different ideas. He'll work it back into the Rebels zone. Chip up off the glass, back in the neutral zone. Here's Gaudette with some speed. Here's a chance. Gaudette takes a little bit of a hook, but knocked off his stick. Good job defensively there by LeBlanc as Grancelli works it back down for Armoro. Gives Gaudette a little bump as it's worked back, flipping it into the neutral zone, right back in, and that'll be Phillips who dumps it in. He'll turn back and head off for a change. Armoro, far side, gets center, dumps it in, no icing call. Cross corner dump, Collins chips it up the wall. LeBlanc reads it, down low, and a big hit there by Gaudette. He finished his check on LeBlanc, and what a hit there as the physicality still continuing and being a factor here in the early going as the Rebels have come out to play here as they've had a few big hits. Pino finishing a check. The smaller Pino, not afraid to throw his body weight around, that's for sure. As down low, getting a call now as it's touched there, and it looks like it's going to be a call as Nick Grancelli for the hold will head to the box. As what a hit by number 21, Zach Gaudette, right before the penalty. Grancelli's going for holding, and another power play coming up here for the Rebels. They're 0 for 1 on the power play so far here this evening. Gaudette out there with Allison as well as McEwen. Allison has it on the far side wall. He'll work it down in behind the goal. Allison protecting the puck, works it back to the point for Gaudette. That's Isaac Gaudette, not to get confused with Zach Gaudette, who delivered that big hit moments ago. That shot on, and here's a chance for the Kings, shorthanded. Back the other way, Cole drives wide. He stops up, looks for an option, shot high past the head of Weil. As it rattles out to the far side, Surratt cycles it back down. I think it hit a glove on the Rebels bench, and the face-off is going to go inside. Oh no, the official saying outside, so. No, the official, I think, got that one wrong as they hit the glove inside of the zone. Should be inside, but maybe because it was offside at the time, they'll go outside of the zone. So a face-off here, shorthanded in front of the Rebels bench. The Kings work it in off the draw towards the net, but not enough on it to make it all the way towards the goal crease of Dylan Weil as that puck chipped in by Allison, sent right back to the point, held in. Here's Gaudette. Nice job by Isaac Gaudette holding the line. As it's worked back, Allison off the skate of Gaudette now, finds his way down low. McEwen back to the far side point. Toe drag shot sent wide as that shot gets sent off the stick of Ben Harris as Gaudette works it to him in the high slot, I guess the high point area, as he kicks it over for Surratt. Surratt trying to slide it through the feet. Off the skate, Allison collects it, works it back down for Surratt. In down low, McEwen trying to kick it out of the battle. Clearing attempt gets sent down. Allison finishes his check as taking that one was Ethan Lemoyne as he cleared it all the way down, 200 from down in behind his goal line. Harris, cross ice pass in behind Surratt. He gets a stick on it, leaves it there, but poked away by Sideruk. Otway takes his time, stops up, and he'll wheel up the far side now. Across the line, Otway sidesteps an attempt of a hit there. Didn't get enough of him was Sideruk. Callahan now works it back to the point. Quick shot on, glove save, no rebound, held on to by Saunders for a whistle. Here with 8 seconds remaining on the power play. Phillips is going to head over the boards, and he'll take Smallman. Smallman delivering the big hit in behind the Kings net. As 3 seconds now on the power play remaining, rimming around. Phillips steps down off his point and keeps it down low. Callahan gets tangled up. Big hit there. Otway finishing his check in the corner on Chisholm. Down low, trying to work it out front. Here's a chance. Callahan sent wide and high. Otway finishing his check. Physical presence out there. Chisholm sidestepping a hit. Going face first into the ice was Phillips. Is just up to the point, but not out. Jackman trying to clear it past the man on the far side. Stepping up was Pigeon as Phillips now works his way back. He'll work it past Jackman on the D-to-D. reverse play to the far side. Nice play to work it. Here's Otway on the short side. He takes a bump, chips it in behind him into the neutral zone. Thompson, as Pino picks that off and works it down into the corner. Pino sidesteps a hit, kind of absorbs most of it though, as he looks for the puck. Otway picks it up, down low, centering pass, can't get a shot away. Was Callahan in front. Otway to the point, back down low, picked off by Salvuta and sent right back down. Sidoruk's gonna have to control it. He's got some time. Makar Sidoruk with some speed now. Works it up ahead. Thompson dumps it in as Gaudette fake to finish his check there. Noy in the corner. Gets to it first. Jackman in there pressuring. Picks the puck off. Jackman trying to work it to the middle of the ice. Can't do so. Now he finds the middle of the ice. Thompson high slot. Held in at the line. Armorell shot there. Rebound loose in front. Another save. Still awaiting our first goal of the game here as we're tied at 0. Armorell point works it to the far side. Walking down, shot into the chest and held onto for a whistle as Scott Corkum let that shot go from the far side right into the chest though of goaltender Dylan Weil. He'll freeze play and a stoppage here with 54 seconds remaining on the clock. Here in the first period, nothing to score. Callahan's gonna dig in here on the defensive zone draw. He'll face off against his counter numerical partner in Culp, and it's won by Culp. Shot steered away though by Weil into the neutral zone. Sent in by Arsenault, cross corner dump. Corkum spinning it back. 40 seconds now here remaining. Arsenault trying to work it to the net. Here's a chance off the stick of Hudson and blockered away by Saunders. Off the glove of Harris and into the bench of the Kings. That'll stop play here with exactly half a minute remaining on the clock. Opening period of action. Live on High Button Sports, still awaiting the first goal scorer here in this matchup. Is going back and forth between these two. The Kings have only lost, well, I guess they've lost 5 games. 3 of them have been in overtime, so all games have been close. Their goal differential is only separated by 2 goals as they have 28-4, 26 against. As off the wall, Tobin McEwen works it. Here's a chance on a nice give and go with Allison. Back to the point. 15 seconds remaining. Point shot tipped up over and wide though. If that clearing attempt makes it all the way down. Here's a chance in the neutral zone. LeBlanc, as time is expiring here with 5 seconds remaining on the clock. Tobin McEwen chipping it up, giving it into it a little bit here as Grancelli gets taken down by Allison, and right at the end of the period, looks like it's going to be McEwen, and Grancelli is going to go for roughing here at the end of the period, so that will carry over into the second period of action. Stay tuned here for all the action live on High Button Sports. We'll be back here inside the Cavendish Farms Community Event Center in about 15 minutes time. Welcome back here, folks, for second period of action live on High Button Sports. Thanks for staying tuned in here to this U16 matchup between the Rebels and the Kings is tied up after one at 0. McEwen and Grancelli will start this period in the box as the late period shenanigans at the end of the period will carry over. Not 4-on-4 though, 5-on-5. So they'll get out 2 minutes after a 2 minutes after a whistle. They'll have to serve here in the second period of play. As I mentioned, deadlocked up at 0 after 1. As this back and forth game here continuing, Fraser flipping it all the way down. Pigeon's gonna go back for it. Pigeon, D to D, goes off the side of the net, and Lemoyne almost intercepted it. It's worked up. Romaine stepping in and working it down low. Romaine is gonna have to step up again, and taking that hit his own way. He'll work it out. Surratt will pressure that puck as Sideruk gets center and dumps it down in deep. Phillips back for it. Phillips reverses. Pigeon back for Phillips through the middle of the ice, worked up ahead, heads up, and big hit there. Otway took the worst of it, but getting a play on it to make a play was Otway. He heads off to the bench, and what a hit there from Romaine, stepping up and finishing his check on Otway. So physicality continuing here as Surratt now with the break. Surratt forehand, backhand, scores on the forehand as he went backhand, forehand, and tucked it in 5-hole past Saunders, and a 1-0 lead here for the Rebels at home, and that'll break the scoring open now. 1 minute and 23 seconds into the second period. Surratt gets a break, capitalizes as he went forehand, backhand, forehand, and Slitter under the pads of goaltender Saunders, and a 1-0 lead for the Rebels here at home. Back here at center ice, and we'll face off here. Some stuff going on the bench. Surratt now is going to the dressing room. Not quite sure what that was all about, but Sam Surratt is now headed off to the dressing room. So Gaudette picking up the assist on the goal, and that'll be number 91, Isaac Gaudette, picking up the apple there as try to figure out why Soreko went to the room. Still question on hand here. He scored the goal and then headed to the room before the next face-off at center ice, and the Rebels will be short a man as it goes back to the point. Here's a chance, shot blocked on the way through. Clearing attempt, works into the neutral zone. Chisholm will pressure Harris, who works it on the far side for Zach Gaudette, who takes a bump as he dumps it in. He'll take a number and play on. Isaac Gaudette down for Pinot. Can't get it in deep enough as it's worked back into the neutral zone. Lively takes a hit as here's Zach Gaudette. Isaac Gaudette leaves it there for Pinot off the skate and into the corner. Pinot not afraid to throw his body weight around. Now Surratt works his way back to the bench, so good to see him back after he scored. So he maybe didn't have a net guard or something like that. Is now it'll be Neufeld through the neutral zone, getting center, dumping it in. A hard rim to the far side where Lively meets it. Pinot taking a hit to make a play. Sorry, that was Arsenault. He finds Pinot, and he'll work it down on his backhand. Pinot driving the net and can't capitalize as it goes off of his stick onto the net and steered away by Saunders. Jackman down there in a battle with Arsenault on the end wall, trying to pick it out as Hudson out of the pile. He goes down as Arsenault and Jackman still tied up. Griffin in there on the forecheck, rimmed around. Collins stepped up, it goes past him, no icing as Salvuta gets to it first. Slavuta worked it back to the point, but out of the reach of Corkum, he'll have to go back. all the way down and behind his own goal line to pick that puck up. He has some pressure from Hudson, gives him a check. Thompson going back down. He'll work it back into his own zone. Here's a shot, rebound, kicked out and in front, and work back here up short side into the neutral zone. Jackman trying to work it in. He pokes it out. Here's a chance. Jackman down low on his backhand. He'll stop up and settle things down and set things up. Jackman to the far side. He's going to take his time as Armorall walks and takes a shot, but can't get it all the way through all the bodies as Jackman picks it up. Here's a chance. Jackman around behind the net. He'll take his time, waiting for an option to open up, work it back to the point. Here's a shot from Corkum off the stick to the far side. Work back, Armorall to the point. He'll walk it in. Shot tipped wide and high off the stick there. Net front was Alexander Salvuta. Back to the point. Corkum shot tipped in and scores! Thompson on the redeflection on the point shot from Chisholm, and a no goal as the referee waves it off. I thought that was definitely a goal. It didn't look like it was above his shoulders, but maybe the referee saw it otherwise. So no goal on a high stick. It was waist high. So I don't know if he was talking about the height on the stick going up, but that said it would be a high stick. So not tied up at one. An icing call there will stop play. 15-15 remaining on the clock here in the second period. I really didn't think Thompson had that stick up that high. It looked just about waist height, but according to the official, I don't know what measuring stick he's going off because it wasn't up over the shoulders of the player who touched it, that's for sure. That puck never reached up above the crossbar. There's no way it would have, because why would the goalie have dropped down into the butterfly on a point shot that was going high over the net? It just didn't make sense to me, and I don't know what the measuring stick there. I don't know. I really don't. I thought that was a tipped in goal for sure. Not high enough for a high stick by any standards. We'll have to maybe review the play, but the shot was tracking for like the middle point of the net, but maybe I saw it wrong, but a high stick will take away the goal for the Kings as they look to get it back. LeBlanc on the half wall, chipping it around Pigeon into the neutral zone. Back is McEwen into his own zone. Centers Allison, heads up, stepping up there as Romaine was heading up ice, and Allison has head down. Tobin centering shot, worked off in behind the net now. In for Allison, down low in front. Here's a chance, and they score. A feed from in behind by Allison, and can't get the number, but I believe it might have been Otway capitalizing on the turnover, and a 2-0 lead here for the Rebels now in the second period as Smallman buries it home on the feed down low from Allison, and a 2-0 lead now. Shortly after the goal got disallowed for the Kings, the Rebels answer back with a second goal of their own. That one will count. Callahan wins it back on the face-off at center ice. Cole finishes his check on Collins, doesn't go down. Smallman picking up the goal, and Allison picking up the assist here, so that'll add on to his tally. Allison is up to 19 points on the year as it's shipped out down the far side. Offside at the line there, the right call by the official as the puck stopped up outside the line as Surratt was in over the line ahead of the puck. Collins tried to jump in there to help him out, but the puck hadn't gone over the line yet, and Surratt was inside, so the face-off is going to come outside of the zone. Callahan trying to win it back, picked up. Here's a chance for Cole right off the draw. He'll push it forward to himself. Cole shot off the crossbar as he broke through, right through off the draw and worked it in and rang one off the crossbar and up and out of play. What a quick shot there by Mason Cole, leading point getter for the Kings this year. He's got 10 points, 6 goals, 4 assists here so far before the Christmas break Lemoyne. On the draw, he'll battle for it. Puck chipped over to the far side. Frazier's going to give chase. He'll give a check to Collins on the far corner. Sent back. Frazier into the high slot. Kicked. Here's a chance. Cole shot goes wide. That one went right past the glove as Cole down low takes a big hit there. Finishing his check is Otway. Drop pass to the point. Lemoyne. He'll cut back. Here's a chance. There's Glover in the high slot. Shot wide. Lively end boards kicks that puck out. As now it'll be Weston at the point. He'll walk. Shot tipped on, but wide. As that puck just battled, sent wide as Cole in there trying to create a forecheck. Weston stepping in from the point. Chip play, and now that goes out as Otway's stick whacked out of his hand, and that'll be a call. As Otway stick knocked out of his hands, and that'll be Mason Cole after a great shift heading to the box. And a slashing call and a power play upcoming here for the Rebels as they were under some pressure from the Kings, looking to cut the lead in half as they trail by 2. But now a power play opportunity being awarded to the Rebels here as they send out 4 forwards, 1 D-man, as McEwen is out there with Gaudette, Surrett, Allison, and the sole D-man is defenseman. That'll be number 63, Brody Noy. Brody Noy out with Brady Allison. They separated by 1 bunch of numbers. Lively getting it down in deep. Noy absorbing the check, moves it to Surrett, who cuts back and takes his time to regroup. The Rebels break it out now. Here's Allison. Puck goes under his stick and sends it in now as he got some pressure from Corkum. Armorall to it first. He'll stop up again, leaves it there, and it gets cleared off the skate of the official and stays in. Gaudette collects it, toe drag, takes a bit of a cross check, mishandles the puck, and that gets cleared down all the way by Jacob Armorall. Right on to Dylan Weil, who pushes it there. Noy looked to stretch out the pass, but he thought better of it, as that'll be Zach Gaudette now with the puck down the far side wall. He'll center it off the skate of LeBlanc, who gets it in the neutral zone and sends it all the way back down. Good kill here so far as 45 seconds remaining on the power play for the Rebels. Noy passes it for Callahan up the short side through the neutral zone and over the blue line. Callahan stops up, looking to set up cross ice pass, finds Pinot. Pinot, couple head fakes, works it back. Pigeon at the high point, kicks it down. Callahan walks it in, blocked by Sidoruk. Battle in the corner, Gaudette, Sidoruk, Callahan in there, trying to work it out. Clearing attempt off the glove and into the neutral zone. Pigeon's going to have to go back for it. He'll take his time. Got to be careful. Last man back. Otway taking the puck. Leaves it. Callahan picks it up. Dishes it on the backhand for Otway. Skate the stick through the neutral zone. Otway works it in. Takes a hit. Dumps the man. Good job there by Otway. Battle in the corner. LeBlanc and Gaudette mixing it up a little bit as the puck is on the half wall. Picked up, looking backdoor, sneaking in. Here's a chance shot there and held on to in between the blocker, as sneaking in backdoor from the point was Phillips, who let that shot go. He was looking for more. Sneaking in, far side winger lost track of Phillips. He snuck in and got a beautiful opportunity, but shutting the door as he closed up the 6-hole, I guess you could say, in between the armpit of the blocker side. Go with 6 on that side. 7 will be the glove hand side. Shot on, rebound, poked away. Jackman picks it up and he'll collect it and take his time to get it out of harm's way as they'll take their time to regroup here in their own zone. Jaden Weston in his own end, centers for Jackman in the middle of the ice. He'll work it through the neutral zone and over the blue line down the far side. Jackman on his forehand, stops up, works it back to the point. Weston at the point, walks to the middle, shot there, sent wide. Lively end boards. Pigeon pokes it out of harm's way. Weston works it back down low. Jackman is going to battle for it. He'll leave it for Thompson, who rims it up the far side for Weston. He'll walk it up over the circles, now up to the high point. He'll leave it down there. Nice move around one. Another nice move. Centering pass, not connecting there as Glover's going to have to dump it in. Thompson in there on the forecheck with Jackman And Glover at the point now. Jackman spinning, cycling down low. Phillips will collect it. Hard rim to the far side. Weston holds the line. Makes a move around one on his backhand down low. Trying to find someone in the slot. There, out of the, in behind was Alexander, excuse me, Salvuta. As Weston, hard rim. Pigeon holds it in. Down low. Arsenault can't get to it. Weston right back, and he gets dumped off the check there of Caleb Griffin, and that puck goes into the bench and stops play over on the Rebels side of the ice. Just outside, so the faceoff's going to be just outside of their zone, outside of their bench, outside of the offensive zone. Culp will dig in here on the offensive zone draw. He'll face off against Brady Allison, leading point getter for the Kings so far this year. As Surratt and Allison both having a point now, they'll tie it up at 19 apiece on the point category wise, but it'll be an assist for Allison and a goal for Surratt as that puck shot on rebound, still loose and cleared away by Armorall into the corner. Worked back. Grancelli getting some pressure from behind. He'll chip it up ahead. Phillips works it here for Allison. He'll go back for Harris, who sends it down. Will it have enough for icing? Thought it went off a player, no, and it goes down. Corkum couldn't get to it, and that'll stop play. 8:48 remaining on the clock here in the second period. Face off, back down to the glove hand side of goaltender Dylan Wild. One back, here's Corkum at the point. He'll cycle it down low. Grancelli, one hand, pokes it for LeBlanc, who loses control, and it goes back over to the wall. Grancelli cycling. Smallman picks it up here on the attempt to get it back to the point. Works it to the red line, chipping it up ahead. Here's a chance. McEwen shot sent wide as McEwen on a nice flip play there by Smallman. McEwen shot there, scores! McEwen out of the corner, and he buries it home. Short side, Tobin McEwen. And it's a 3-0 lead here for the Rebels. 8:23 remaining in the second period, and Tobin McEwen netting that home. McEwen, I think, sits third among points for the Rebels. That'll help his case. As well, the other top 2 point getters also picking up points, so he stays right in that bunch up with them as Callahan will dig in here on the draw. Win it back for Noy. Cole dumps it in, takes a hit from Surratt as he does, as McGilvery reverses for Noy. He'll sidestep the check from, as Allison picks up a point as well. So Allison now has 2 points, 2 primary assists, and he's up to 20 points now. He has the sole lead of the point race. Here for the Rebels is Otway now, 2-on-2 down the far side, cuts to the middle off his stick though. Good back check. Cole clears it out of the way. McGilvery stepping in from the point. He'll turn it over, leave it for Otway. Down low, Otway centering past Callahan. Puck in the feet, gets a shot away. Rebound, back for him. Knocked to the point and chipped out. Here's Lemoyne, 2-on-1 against Noy. Has Fraser, flip for Fraser. Can't control the bouncing puck. He goes into the boards and picked up here. Back the other way. McGilvery through the neutral zone, gets to center, dumps it in, takes a big hit. Cole finishing his check on the man was McGilvery, taking the hit to make the play as he got center. Here's Pigeon, shot off the bench wide. Lively taking a hit from Otway, back to the point. Fraser mishandles the puck. Noy collects it. Noy, the sole man on the power play for the Rebels as a defenseman. Position, Callahan, backdoor, scores! What a feed from Callahan, backdoor, and making no mistake on that tap in. All alone, standing backdoor was number 92. Guess who? Sam Surratt. And a 4-0 lead here now for the Rebels at home. What a feed from Callahan. It was worked down from the point from Pigeon. Callahan found Surratt alone backdoor, and that might be one of his easiest goals on the year from Sam Surratt. He's now up to 20 points, so he is back in the race now. It's tied back up for the first point getter. between Allison and Surratt. Sent in by Pino. He'll take the hit. Weston now in behind his own net. Loses handle on the puck as Pino takes a hit from Neufeld. Down low, Pino throwing his weight around like he has all game. Not afraid of the physicality as Pigeon centers under the stick of Gaudette. Centering pass finds the stick of number 37, Nash Neufeld, as Pino works it up, back to the neutral zone. Skate to stick, too far out of his reach as it goes down. Salvuta works it back into the neutral zone. He'll dump it down in off the end wall and behind Weil, whereas Pigeon reverses him behind his goaltender. Nice job taking his time, waiting for an option. Loses his footing as Phillips goes down. Turnover taken away by Pigeon. Here's a chance. Jackman's going to drive towards the net on his backhand, poked away. Great stick there. Work back to the point. Pigeon had a diving chance there to one opportunity to try to get that puck away, and he got it away. Take away the opportunity. What a play there defensively. Armorall at the point. Sidesteps one, works it back down low. The Rebels under a siege of pressure from the Kings in front. What a save by Wild, point blank in front. Jackman had a one-timer opportunity. Corkum sends it back down low. Phillips finds the man. That's Pinot. High flip. Won't have enough draw on it. It slows down, and that'll find its way all the way down. And Pinu will be charged for the icing call here. 5:02 remaining on the clock here in the second period. 4-0. And all four goals here coming so far 15-ish minutes into the period. Two goals from Sam Surratt, one from Caleb Smallman, and the other coming off the stick of Tobin McEwen, all here in the fourth period. Still 5 minutes remaining in the second period. Work back, D to D, Sidoruk takes it, shot, pad save, cleared away by Phillips. On the rebound, work back to the point, out of the corner, chipping it off the glass into the high slot. Nice job by Culp to collect that puck, trying to reverse it up for Grancelli. Now it's worked back, Sidoruk cycling it down low under the stick of LeBlanc to the far side. Phillips will try to work it back up the same side. Him and LeBlanc battle for it on the end wall by the Zamboni door. Kicked back up the wall and sent right back in towards the net. Chipped down low. LeBlanc's going to try to work it out. As that battle continuing down low. Gaudette, nice little chip play there for his brother, as that'll be Zach Gaudette gets center and dumps it in as Isaac Gaudette gave him the pass to break it out. Sidoruk, far stretch pass for LeBlanc, just inside the blue line. LeBlanc cutting back over by the ringette line. He'll get it knocked off his stick and chipped back into the neutral zone by Collins. High sauce pass, Harris stepping up and knocking it away, sending it back down in behind Romaine. Reversing on his backhand, Sidoruk has some pressure from Hudson, works up to Cole, who chips it high, pass as Lemoyne will pressure that puck now. Chipped back, here's Griffin, chipping it up ahead. Caleb Griffin, poke past Hudson. Back the other way as the Kings looking to respond here before the end of the second period as Hudson back for his D-man. That's Ty Collins up off the glove of Frazier and held in. Frazier trying to center there, can't do so. He'll just push it down low for Cole, who leaves it. Can't make a play on it as he was absorbing the check. Griffin moved to the middle and knocked off of his stick. Back, Sidoruk, far pass, doesn't connect cleanly. Collins will chip it up off the boards in front of the bench of the Kings. And now it'll be a delayed call. The Kings' frustration picking up here as Frazier whacks the stick out of the hands and a shot on. Rebound picked up. Griffin looking to fight it off. He goes into the end wall, and that'll stop play as the Kings touch it up. And Cole's going to go, or no, sorry, it's going to be Ben Frazier for the slash. So Frazier's going to sit, 2 or less for slashing, and a Rebels power play here with 2:44 remaining on the second period clock. And a power play opportunity now here as Cole's going to head on the ice. Swell with number 92, Lemoyne. Cole's going to go in for the draw. Wait to see if he's allowed to stay. Yes, he will be. So a power play here. One right back to the point by Gaudette. Harris to the half wall as it's turned over by McEwen. Here's a chance. 2-on-0. Eye flip. Cole and Lemoyne. Back to Lemoyne off the crossbar as Lemoyne point blank had Wild out of the net and put it off the crossbar on a short-handed 2-on-0 as Cole slid it over and wide open. Eyes probably the size of the moon. He definitely lit up, and Lemoyne lights it off the crossbar, and the power play continuing here, and a great opportunity on a flip out of the zone and read perfectly by Cole and Lemoyne. 2-on-0 and Weil gonna have to tap his crossbar and say thank you as that puck stayed out because of it. Allison under his stick, chipped up. Tobin McEwen worked it in. McEwen diving to poke it down low. Weston collects it. D to the far side. Dropping down is Chisholm. Glover in there to help out as well. Puck down low. Weston's going to pressure it. Back to the point. Pigeon works it in. Here's a shot high past the glove. Off the glass. Down low. That goes under the stick of Smallman. He'll pressure that puck. Smallman trying to finish the check. He gets in a battle with Glover as well as Chisholm. Now it'll be collected and settled down by Otway. Back to the point. Pigeon back for Callahan. Shot wide past the glove. Far side and out. Pigeon right back for Callahan. They work it right back in and in. Last minute to play here in the second period. 4 unanswered goals coming for the Rebels here in the second period as Pinot on the power play, working it down low. 5 seconds remain on the power play. Smallman from down on his stomach trying to work it out. Otway will gather the puck and take his time with it, working it up high in the zone. Otway finds Pinot into his skates, cutting back. Pinot backdoor. Callahan couldn't get the forehand one-timer away. Into the corner now. Callahan battling down there. Puck work back to the point. Half a minute now remaining on the second period clock. Pinot backhand feed. Otway shot high up into the mesh. What a pass off the stick of number 8 Hudson Pinot for the feed backdoor. Otway couldn't bury it home as it goes up and out of play. Stoppage of play here with 19.4 seconds remaining on the clock. Here in the second period, face-off going to stay inside. Hudson on the offensive zone draw here. About 20 seconds or so on the clock. Hudson wins it back to the point. McGilvery cycling it down the wall. Can't handle it cleanly was Arsenault as Hudson's going to battle with Thompson. Reverse play there for Jackman over to the far side. Can't get it out. Turned over. Griffin gets hauled down. No call. Backdoor chance. Pad save. What a save here in the dying seconds of the second period to keep it a 4-goal game as a pad save from Joe Saunders keeps that puck out after 2 periods of play. Rebels 4, Kings no score. We'll be back for third period of action after this 15-minute intermission on High Button Sports. Thanks for staying tuned in, folks. We'll be back shortly. Hello, folks, and welcome back here for our third period of action. Jackman will dig in here as him and Hudson face off at center ice, and we're underway. Third period of action. The Kings looking to respond after a couple goals early in the second. Led to a 4-goal period for the Rebels in the second period. $420 50-50 draw is getting called out here now, so congratulations to the lucky winner on that. A decent little crowd here on hand. I'll see if I can get a little shot of that during a whistle. Crowd starting to thin out here in the third. Still lots of people down in the canteen area. Here to start the period. I'm sure they'll settle into their seats here in the next 5 minutes or so as it's worked back over the line by the Kings. Drop pass. Salyuta gets it knocked off of his stick. Armorall works it back. Here's a chance. Armorall 1-on-2 shot off the end of the stick. That one off the shaft kind of area of the goaltender stick of Weil. Kept that puck out, so he's had a couple lucky bounces here in this game. He's shut the door so far. Jackman taking his time, backing into his own zone. Stretch pass up the wall. Jammed up by LeBlanc, who passes ahead and dumped in by Grancelli, who's going to give chase. Finishes check and a high stick call. The linesman slides in from the point. He wiped out trying to get into the play. Collins took the hit at the end of the play by Grancelli, but a high sticking will be called and a offensive zone draw now as LeBlanc digs in here. One, but ends up getting past the forward who was driving down. Here's Pinot with some speed. He gets taken down. They'll play on. Up through the middle. Glove down. Harris hand pass as he wasn't the first to touch it. He was the first to grab it out of the air, but touching it first was Gaudette. Zach Gaudette having a couple words there with Armoro. Still having a couple words as mentioned in the, I think maybe the first of this, one of the first of the second period, one of the two. I had said that Gaudette had kind of patrolled the red line, kind of, I guess you could say, during the early goings, during warm-up, and it's kind of carried his little bit of mean edgeness to him, I guess you could say, here into the third period. Pino throwing his body weight around, gets stood up though on the check in behind the net as Gaudette battles for it on the half wall, worked back up the wall. Here's Grancelli through the neutral zone. Grancelli gets center, dumps it off, and peels off for a change as LeBlanc's gonna give chase. Collins takes a tumble. His skates might have hit the boards as he was backing up as it gets picked off. If Pinot will settle things down, a couple head fakes. He'll dish it over to the far side where Sidoruk steps up. Lemoyne dumps it in deep and takes a hit as stepping off into the bench now is Gaudette. Romaine working it back in the neutral zone. D to D, worked back up the wall, chipping it, getting a stick on it, hitting it to the middle was Cole, but picked off. Sent back in by Harris. Cole trying to finish his check. Harris peeling away. Heads up. That went just by the face of the ref, and a shot on by Gaudette. Steered away into the corner. Face off. In behind. High up into the mesh, and that'll stop play. Sorry, not a face off, but a battle. And the puck flipped high will stop play for a face off. Offensive zone draw for the Rebels. They lead by 4 coming into the third period on 4 unanswered goals in the second period by the Rebels as the Kings thought they might have had one of their own, waved off for a high sticking call, and we remain 4-0 the score. Oh, Smallman, cycles it down low. Noy ended up taking the hit, but I don't know if he ever touched the puck, as now it gets chipped back into the neutral zone. Fraser with some speed. Toe drag shot, pad save by Wild, steers it into the corner. Good rebound control there by Dylan Wild as Noy works it up into the neutral zone. Nice play for Tobin McEwen shot and glove down by Saunders as that was fed ahead for him by Smallman. Smallman has a goal and a massive hit in the first period. And he's been consistent here so far in the game. A big team in green in the Rebels. A pretty big squad also in white though for the Kings as that puck battled in the feet. Otway trying to get it back. Here's a chance. Callahan back door. Can't find a stick on it. Was Surratt. Alone back door once again. Sam Surratt and Allison in a points race here. They both now have 20 points on the year. Both coming into the game with 18 points and have 2. Heads up. Otway tried to step up. Sidestepping the check was Lively works it, trying to get it to the point, and Otway runs over the man. There was Glover stepping up, but Otway stood him up. Reversed off the skate of Chisholm, and he'll have to chase it back down and behind his net. He'll stop up, try to find some safe area, but the Rebels keep the pressure on him, and it's worked back into the neutral zone now, and that'll be a big finishing check there. Otway on Chisholm. Chisholm now with the puck as he absorbed the hit. Weston couldn't hold the line and back into the neutral zone. He'll take it into his own zone. Weston works it up over on a D-to-D pass for Jacob Armorall, who's looking for an option. And behind his net, Armorall up the wall. Jackman working it up. No target there as it went in between his 2 players up ahead of him, and it's chipped in by Callahan, who peels off with Otway for a change. Chipping it up the wall, right off the bench. Collins sends it in, and he'll give chase and be F1 once again. Collins is going to finish his check on Armorall as he rims it up the far side. Good job by the call-up Griffin to hold it back down in low. Corkum gets taken out by Hudson, and a delayed call here now. It looks like it's going to be for cross-checking. His cross-checking call will be taken there by Hudson as he'll head off to the box. Connor Hudson is going to head to the box, and it's going to give the Kings a chance to get on the power play and maybe get on the board here in the third period. Still no score for them. They thought they had one, but it was called back for a high sticking on a kind of controversial call. It was kind of waist high, but high sticking was ruled by the official. Far side, nice move around one. Shot there, Fraser right into the glove, calmly snagged out of the air and held on to for a whistle by Weil. Dylan Weil played a few Saturday night matchups here in Tyne Valley. Jackman ties up off the draw, one back. Weston moved to his left and it went to his right and out of the zone. Weston collects the puck, works it back. Jackman across the blue line, now through the neutral zone, in over the other blue line, stops up inside the ringette line, trying to work it back and set things up. Here are the Kings, but can't do so as that clears all the way down off the stick of Arsenault. Out to stop it is Saunders. He'll leave it there for Weston. Jaden Weston taking his time, dishing it off to the short side with Jackman with speed, gets center and a hard rim for Fraser. Can't control it cleanly, clearing off the glove and into the bench of the Rebels for a stoppage of play. 13:36 remain in the third period. Minute and 8 on the clock for the penalty. That was Hudson who got the cross-checking call. He got the stick kind of in the pants area and kind of popped the man up, and he went down. And a power play now for the Kings as they look to get going. Worked back to the point. D-to-D Corkum here on the short side. He works to the middle. Shot tipped. Cole just kind of slowed it down, and that gets sent all the way out by Noy as he'll have to chase that puck as Corkum in behind his own net. He'll leave it there for Slavuta. He'll pick up some speed through the neutral zone. Almost lost it. Controls it though. Drops it for Cole just inside the blue line. He'll rim it around the dashboard to the far side where Lemoyne collects it. Spinning off a check. He'll drive to the net. Shot short side. Fought off by Weil. Down low, Noy takes the man out. Romaine from his backside works it to Cole with his stick, which is impressive. Most players try to hand that pass off with their hand. Centering pass, past Cole and back into the neutral zone as Corkum couldn't get to it. All the way right down in on net, and that'll be held on to for a whistle by Saunders as Joe Saunders freezes play. And a face-off going to go inside the King zone with 10 seconds remaining on their power play. The Kings Hockey Club coming into this game currently in 8th place with a 4-2-3 record with 11 points on the year. Just a 2-goal differential separating them. They're +2 now, sitting at -2 here so far, as that's definitely too many men. No call on the play. They'll play on. LeBlanc turns it over inside the blue line. Griffin chips it up ahead. Glover chipping it back into the neutral zone. Pino offside as he batted it out of the air and thought he might have kept it inside of the line, but the official on the far side wall over close to us said no as the play blown down for offside, and it'll be Hudson out of the box to face off here on the offside call. Arsenault sending it down to the far side. Glover chipping it up for LeBlanc into his feet and out into the neutral zone. Arsenault intercepts. Culp, though, picks it off and back the other way through the neutral zone. Culp works it over the blue line. Has Grancelli. He'll shoot it. Paddled into the corner. Good job there by Wild to steer it out of harm's way by himself. As you saw there, decent little crowd here still left on hand. To the left of me is still a decent crowd also to the right, as that's stopped up at center and back into the zone. They mix them up. No call on the play over on the far side. Grancelli slow to get to his feet. Around behind Arsenault, wraparound attempt, pad save by Saunders. Short side here, Grancelli sidesteps a hit as Phillips stepped up on him, and Grancelli's had enough. He'll head off to the bench. A little bit of frustration as Arsenault at center, cross ice pass, getting a stick on it. Gaudette right off the bench, worked it in. Griffin down low, takes a hit from Lively, leaves it for Gaudette over top of the circles. Gaudette now up to the high point area. Shot there off the stick and up into the mesh for a stoppage of play here with 10:57 remaining on the third period clock. The Kings trail by 4 here with 10:57 remaining. They look to get back within a couple here before it's too late. Not without their lack of effort and chances. They've had a couple, but up for the task every time so far has been goaltender Dylan Weil, as that goes off the stanchion. Cleared to the point and offside on the dump-in attempt, hit Pino, as Pigeon just chopped at it at the blue line, trying to send it back in deep, and it ended up off the body of the forward Hudson Pinot, clearing the zone, face off to the far side. Gaudette out there with Gaudette. And Pinot, puck into the feet. Hudson Pinot trying to work it back in. Left it there for Isaac Gaudette, who chips it up ahead. Here's Zach Gaudette with it now. Gets centered, dumps it right off the defenseman, and picked up Neufeld. Trying to work it back in. Gaudette sidesteps a hit there. Barely, though, as Romain stepping up on him. Worked back. Gaudette sending it in. He'll pressure. Sidoruk up the wall. Neufeld trying to work it out, goes off the stick of the defenseman into the Kings bench face-off. Looks like it's going to stay inside. Gaudette having a word with all the players heading to the bench for the Kings, I'm sure. Wasn't a, hey man, how's your Saturday night going? As right from the opening warm-up, Zach Gaudette trying to stir the pot just a little bit, ever so slightly, here in this game, and he's done a pretty good job as his brother's got 2 points, I believe. Oh, he's only got 1. He's got an assist as it goes down for icing, and another stoppage of play here with 10:09 remaining. Offensive zone draw over on the far side of the ice, glove hand side of goaltender Dylan Weil gets the start here tonight. The Rebels look to improve as that puck goes off the body of the defenseman at the point and into the Rebels bench as Corkum tried to hold it in. Smallman, I'm sure, had a couple words here for him. Offensive zone draw for the Kings. Lemoyne will dig in here. 10:03 remain on the clock. Lemoyne wins it to the wall, but picked up and worked out. Here's Collins down the far side through the neutral zone. Smallman stops up at the blue line. Harris trying to split through. Shot set wide off the stick. In behind, Corkum trying to work it up the wall for Fraser. Just barely gets to him, and he'll cycle it back down low for Corkum. On a rim to the far side. Cole trying to get a stick on it, can't do so. Here's a chance. Allison, shorthand shot there. Not shorthanded, but I guess an in close hand shot. It's my third game of the day, folks. My apologies. Long day here for me. Sometimes the words just can't come to me fast enough as Corkum picks it up, takes his time. He'll rim it up the wall to the short side here. Fraser sends it right back in. He has a couple words there with Collins on the half wall. No penalties come out of it. Nice move to the middle. Here's a chance back and a nice turnover though. As Smallman trying to work it in as Lemoyne. As here's a chance. McEwen and a big hit there. Ben Fraser finished his check on Tobin McEwen as he let the shot go. Now through center, dumping it. Off the skate though, McGilvery off the skate of Armorall, and McEwen slowly makes his way to the bench now as him and Allison will change. New set of legs out there as Salvuta chips it around Surrett. Up the far side, he takes a big hit there, finishing his check. His number 77, it looks like Collins, shot sent wide. Ty Collins finishing his check, heads off. Salvuta chipping it up ahead for Jackman, trying to get around the defenseman. Noy, big hit there. Salvuta on Otway stands him up. Around to the far side, Glover trying to chip it off the boards. Back to the point, Noy holds the line. Back down low, Surrett has Callahan in front to Callahan. He'll take his time with it. Now a shot, glove save, rebound. Shot wide, Surrett over to the far side, Weston trying to work it up the wall. Can't do so. Jackman in there to help out. Works it for Salvuta, takes a bump, makes a play. Thompson poked off his stick. Otway gathers it. And the neutral zone. Otway trying to chip it in. Jackman finishing his check. Otway ready for it though. Sent in. Otway's going to get it to it first here on the half wall. He'll cycle it down low into the corner. Jackman frustrated as Surrett finished his check on him. Chipping it up to LeBlanc. Now into the neutral zone. 1-on-2. LeBlanc is going to move it over the blue line. Down low. LeBlanc into the corner is going to draw a hooking call. Otway finishing his check on him. And LeBlanc and Otway mix it up a little bit. Here, and a delayed hooking call will be charged to the Rebels. As we'll wait to see who the culprit is. Looks like it's going to be McGilvery. Going to the box. So a power play here with 7:20 remaining on the clock in the third period. Down by 4. Still some time left, but not much. They're going to have to hurry if they want to get back into this game. Jackman just off a long shift. Right back out there. Weston tries to hold the line. It goes off of him and into the neutral zone. Arsenault pressuring the puck. Leaves it there. Jackman off of his skate and over for Armorall on the far side. Armorall move with a head fake there through the neutral zone. Armorall going to try to split up through everyone. Armorall dishes it to Thompson down the wing. Leaves it Jackman at the point. He'll drive it back down. Drop past Weston. Walks to the middle. Dished off for Armorall. Far side. Down low. Looking over some options now. He'll cut to the middle. Fraser, nice move around a couple. Fraser shot, rebound. Can't bring it home, and now Fraser pokes it home on a power play goal, and that breaks the shutout for Weil. Here in the third period, now 4-1 in favor of the Rebels, but a goal on the power play, capitalizing Ben Fraser. Pokes it home on a couple chances. First 2 or 3 were saved by Weil, but couldn't get the puck out of there. And nice play there by Ben Fraser to cut to the middle and follow up his own rebound. We'll wait to see for the assist on that one, but Fraser getting the goal. 4-1 now, the score here in the third period. That'll break the shutout for Weil, and Grancelli and Gaudette having a couple words there. Once again, still having a couple words. Grancelli and Gaudette. The linesman has a little smirk on his face, so something was said that was kind of funny. Grancelli and Gaudette still on the same wing, so they'll probably see quite a bit of each other. Jackman and Thompson going to pick up the assist on the goal as Gaudette now shot. Rebound cleared away out of harm's way by Sidoruk. Finishing his check was Grancelli on Phillips. Gaudette still having a conversation with them. Gaudette and Grancelli. Gaudette maybe getting under the skin a little bit here in the third period. Puck sent in off the draw by Collins, rimming it around to the far side, trying to keep it back down low as Lively will work it D to D for his D-man there. Centerman, good job covering down low. Corkum cutting through the middle, almost loses the handle. Now he'll just dump it in deep and stay back at the point. All his men had to slow down, couldn't really get a forecheck. Here's Romaine now, works it up, shot right into the chest protector. No rebound on that as Novell drove the net, and it looks like it's going to be Isaac Gaudette going to go. Wait and see exactly the call, but Gaudette looks like he's getting escorted to the box. Here, 5:46 remaining, and a power play upcoming for the Kings. Here as Gaudette goes to the box, maybe for it looked like a roughing sign. So with 5:46 remaining here in the third period, the Kings on the power play, they trail by 3. Enough time, but not much, as they got to hurry here. Work back, Romaine's going to get net front, try to take the eyes away of Weil, the big defenseman. Work back, Lemoyne's shot goes wide, as struggling to find that shot was Weil. He looked around, Surrett finishes his check on Lemoyne, who never even went for the puck. He was more worried about taking the check than the puck as it's picked up. Here's Cole through the neutral zone over the line. He'll drive it down in low. Cole runs into the end ball by himself. Corkum finishing his check. He'll get back on it. Hard dump into the far side. Harris sends it up through the middle and all the way down and out to play it there. Rimming it back up the wall. Here's Cole touching it for Lemoyne. Crossing the blue line. Lemoyne works it in. Drop pass. Shot there. Scores! What a play, and what an even nicer shot there on a drop pass, and making no mistake with that one is Alexander Salvuta, and now a 2-goal game here in the third period. 4:54 remaining on the clock, and they've cut the lead in half on 2 power play goals, back-to-back power play goals, and what a shot there off the stick of Salvuta to cut the lead to 2 on a nice drop pass coming off the stick, and a timeout called by the Rebels as they want to settle things down now in the third period. So we'll be back after this short timeout. Welcome back here for the last 4 minutes and 54 seconds of this U16 matchup here live on High Button Sports from the Cavendish Farms Community Event Center in PEI. This gets worked back. Tyne Valley PEI to be exact, as Weston turned over. Saunders holds on to the rebound. Saunders is going to pick up the secondary assist, so Saunders picking up an apple as he rimmed it up the wall to Lemoyne, who worked it in and dropped it between the legs. Salvuta snapped it home, and it's a 2-goal game here now. A shot blocked as Thompson collects it, sidesteps a hit from Smallman, Work down low. McEwen out of the corner. He'll work it up the half wall. Cycle play. Jackman read it. Spinning off the forecheck of Allison up the wall. Sent back down for Allison. Back for McEwen. The two, number 71 and 17, connecting here for a couple. As it's chipped back, McEwen keeping it moving forward towards the net. Jackman, cross ice pass, finds Frazier through the neutral zone with speed. Ben Frazier loses the handle, picked up though on the follow-up, and that goes high up over the net as Thompson down for Frazier. Sneaking back door, trying to connect with Weston and out into the neutral zone. Armorall picks it up. Work back. Jackman trying to find a way out of the zone, finds Armorall. That's the defenseman jumping up in the play. Jacob Armorall dropping it for Frazier. Ben Frazier shot through traffic. I don't know how Wild found that one, as that puck went through some legs on the way. Driving the net was Jacob Armorall. It went through the legs of McGilvery, and squeezing it into his chest was Dylan Weil. 4-2, 3:27 remaining on the clock. Grancelli out there now. He'll be out there with LeBlanc and Culp. Puck off the boards into the neutral zone. Armorall will have to go back into his own zone and collect. Reversed. Taking his time, trying to stretch it out was Corkum. Picked off in the neutral zone and worked back here. Here's a nice move. Callahan trying to work it to the net. Callahan can't get the shot away. He has it on the far side. Taking his time, cycling it towards the net. Picked off. Armorall chipping it off the glass and into the neutral zone. Dumping it right back, taking no chances is Bijon. And down low, worked right back up into the neutral zone. Chipping it was Grancelli. Forecheck continuing for the Kings here as the Rebels look to get it out. Grancelli and Gaudette out there against each other once again. Grancelli's shot blocked in front high as that went near the head, it looked like, of the defender in front. I believe it was Ben Harris as a shot blocked by Pinot. Harris around the wall past Corkum. Pinot collects it through the neutral zone, dishes it. Here's Gaudette now over the blue line. Gaudette looking over his options towards the net, tipped wide as he looked for Pinot, who directed it towards the net but not on net as it was just sent wide. At the point, shot off the toe and into the corner as Salvuta, he has the second goal for the Kings, clears it to center, too far to reach a Cole, off the body maybe, no icing on the call. As the Kings look to stretch out the zone. Out goes the goaltender. 6-on-5, Lemoyne shot scores! And Lemoyne brings it back within one, and the Kings are in within one here with 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining. As Lemoyne ties it up, or brings them back within one here with 1 minute and 37 seconds. As heading to the bench was Joe Saunders. As I was mentioning it, Lemoyne snaps it, and he's got 2 points here in the third period with a goal and an assist and a timeout called by the Kings. As Lemoyne signaled to the ref, and a timeout now called by the Kings Hockey Club as they'll look to set up a play here. We'll see if Saunders is in the net for the face-off or not. We'll be back after this timeout here on High Button Sports for the last minute and 38 seconds. All righty, folks, welcome back. And what a third period we have been blessed with here in Tyne Valley PEI in this U16 matchup between the Kings and the Rebels. A 1-goal game now with 1 minute and 38 seconds. The Rebels came into the third period with a 4-0 lead. They scored all 4 of their goals in the second period. The Kings trying to do the same, but now in the third. They trail by 1. Minute and a half or so remaining on the clock. Armorall works it up the wall. Thompson chipping it into the neutral zone. Collins going to dump it right back, though. Armorall gloves it down and works it into the neutral zone. Jacob Armorall dishes it wide. Thompson driving it down low. Thompson back for Jackman at the point. Net empty, 6 on 5. Working it down low for Ben. Fraser's shot towards the net, blocked, and Jackman will retrieve it in the corner. Last minute to play here in the third period. Armorall dumping it back down high up in the air, not into the mesh, and that puck, couple flips off the boards. Here's a chance. Smallman over the blue line, shot wide, Weston. As Smallman does the splits and goes into the boards. That can't feel good. In front off the side of the net. Allison's shot blocked on a desperation dive, and that's cleared out. Jackman centers Thompson, 1-on-1, down low. Thompson's shot blocker saved by Weil. Jackman towards the net, clearing off the glass, back to the point. Armorall through his feet and into the neutral zone. But not out, says the official. Now it'll get cleared out. Weston brings it right back in. 14 seconds remaining here in the third period. Jackman trying to hold the line, cleared back out. Armorall, cross ice for Fraser. Fraser trying to work it in. 5 seconds remaining as that'll be ragged out, and then trying to kill off the rest of the time is Smallman, and that'll do it here for an exciting Saturday night matchup on High Button Sports. Thanks for tuning in, folks. The Rebels victorious on a 4-3 victory here at home. All 4 goals coming in the second period. 3 unanswered in the third for the Kings, but it wasn't enough as they tried to mount a comeback but just couldn't do so. And the Rebels take this one by a score of 4-3. Their record moves to 8-4-2. 16 points, or now 18 points on the year. They'll add 4 more goals for a total of 54 on the season. Thanks for tuning in here, folks. I hope you enjoyed this one as an exciting game here on a Saturday night matchup on High Button Sports.